What is going on, everybody? This is Peter, this is Good e-Reader, and this is the live showcase where we do a live, showcase of the e-reader of, sometimes our choosing, sometimes your guys' choosing. We have so many things on the docket right now. We're just trying to kind of burn through it all. This is the Xiaomi Moan AIR. It is a 300 ppi 6-inch, which a lot of manufacturers are getting away from. If you haven't watched our review coverage, you won't know what we mean by that, but we will get into it right now. This is supplied to us by Xiaomi. Thank you very much for sending us this sample. No, they are not a sponsor, but we get samples from everybody. So let us get into this right now. How's it going, nobody? Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, his family's good? Everyone's good? All right, let's get some focus here. Webcams can't do manual focus, at least not these ones. But anyways, let us see what we're working with. Xiaomi has Xiaomi has moved into an international player, and a lot of that going through Good e-Reader with samples, distribution agreements, etc. We're kind of the company that helps people get international traction. And they were a Chinese-only company for quite some time in terms of their e-reader division. Not their smartphones, not their tablets, not everything else that they kind of sell as consumers, but their e-readers, e-book readers, the Moan line, the Mi line, all that kind of stuff. They were very hesitant to get into the international market. Hello, I've lost many showcases, and it's a shame. Hope it's all good for you. You can watch the VODs anytime, Andrea Giangianni. You gotta go like this. You gotta put the fingers together, not really tight, but you know, you just kind of you casually. You know what I mean? It's just like naturally. That's how we Italians do it. I'm not Italian. I mean, I am Italian, but I'm not Italian. So let's get into it here, guys. What you can do is basically anything on this. You can browse your device storage. You can pick books of your choosing. You can choose what to open it with. You might see that a lot of the elements are not in English. Do not worry. There is software waiting in the background to be updated. They are fully in English, these devices. You can see from the top down here, it says Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, refresh, accelerate, screen, cap, and settings. If you go over to the settings, everything is in English as well, so you don't have to worry about that. And actually, right now, there is an update waiting. You'll see here that it is actually waiting right now. I just haven't updated it yet because there's going to be some time to do that. So anyways, it's going to be in full-blown English when you get it. So let's see what we can do right here. You do have some ways to change the text. You have some ways to change the margins. You can change the the line spacing, and you can do long presses. You can basically do anything an e-reader can do, because this is an ebook reader for all intents and purposes. Now you might be wondering, do I have to use the stock reader? No, you can install anything you want, and we will show you that by going down to application management and going to here. You can install apps from unknown sources, and why this is important, because that means you can sideload in APKs and install anything. Barnes & Noble, Moon Plus Reader, Kobo, Aldico, anything you can install on here. There is no problem whatsoever. This is running Android 11, I believe. Let's see, system and about this machino. Android 11, where is it? I'm not seeing it. Anyways, it's Android 11. Hey, Nicolas Pinotti. Yeah, Android 11 means you can install basically anything. You can change the language, you can change the input method from different keyboards. The only thing this is lacking is Google services. Now, we have heard some people being able to root it, but for the most part, out of the box, it can install apps, but it doesn't have access to Google Play. Xiaomi has never had access to Google Play on their e-paper devices. If you don't want something like Baidu NetDisk, you just click on it, click on install, and away it goes. It's gone. You don't need all the stuff that's all this bloatware from factory. WeChat, if you don't want WeChat, you click on install. I'm just doing this live because it doesn't matter. You can always get rid of these things. You can craft your own experience with these devices. I do not recommend their app store. Thank you, Xiaomi, for having one, but we'll tell you why. There's like 20 apps. That's not an exaggeration. There's 14 plus 11 plus 1. And the Kindle app is Kindle.cn, which is the Chinese Kindle. It is not the North American Kindle that's going to have your Stephen King books and everything like that. It's just going to have all of the Chinese authors, the Chinese editorials and newspapers and everything like that. We have scanned the Kindle app in China, and it does have some English content, but it's just not going to be the same. Simon Gordon, oh, hi. Oh, here you are. Hi. Please ask the team forward a post so we can set up notification. Please ask the team to forward post so we can set up notification. Forward post? What are you talking about, Simon? Simon says, what are you talking about? Do you know what that means, Simon? Your name is a game in North America. It's called Simon Says. And if you say something like, Simon says, put your hand up. Simon says, put your left hand up. Put your right hand up. Oh, I didn't say Simon Says. I don't know if you guys know that, because we do have a wide audience from a lot of people all over the world. But yeah, it was a really popular game in the 80s and 90s called Simon Says. And there's like a game too, right? Like a little circle thing. You press red and all that crap. So let's go to the Lightning browser. Now, unfortunately, you know what's kind of weird about the Air is that this is the same OS that is the, what do you call it? The same as the W8 and the W7 and the Xiaomi Note. However, it doesn't have a speed mode, and I'm not sure why. I don't know why it doesn't have a speed mode, because it could benefit from one. We had a couple people comment recently that I don't do YouTube anymore. I just do the what do you call it? Narration for videos and stuff like that, but I don't do the YouTube comments and stuff. But someone was saying like we should cover more like PDF stuff instead of A2 mode, but A2 mode is absolutely critical to the success of an ebook reader. And if you look at every single manufacturer, they have speed mode. Even on smaller devices like the M6, even on every single Hisense phone, speed modes are necessary. That's not an opinion. E-paper inherently is very slow. It's very sluggish. It's very hindered by its own kind of nature. You need speed modes. Not accelerate by releasing the RAM. Doesn't even work half the time. No, that's not speed mode. Speed mode is getting rid of that. The flashing, the artifacting. Look at all that. You can do it. It's kind of like it's kind of like if you had a device with 4 speed modes, this being the slowest, this being the fastest. It's like right here, kind of bridging this gap. But yeah, yes, you're right, Andrea. This Moan, this one can't watch videos. It's just like 8 frames a second. It's absolutely horrid. And actually, I think we have if I go back a couple spots, I believe. Yeah, here we go, YouTube. We already had this kind of queued up for the review. So you can watch it. It's just going to look at that. Yeah, it's terrible. But you know what? Andrea, don't discount the other Xiaomi stuff, because the other Xiaomi stuff like the W8 and the Note can watch videos perfectly fine, upwards towards the upper echelons of refresh rates. So it's quite nice. But for some reason, I don't know why they've left it out of this. It doesn't make any sense, because they're running the latest Android. They're running 300 ppi screen. It's kind of lost potential there. And I understand they've removed a couple things, like they don't have onboard audio on this model, but they do on the W8. So it's like, why did you... I understand why you did that, because it's a physical thing that you need to remove. But speed mode is software. It doesn't cost you anymore to add that when you already have it implemented on other devices. So yeah. Nicholas Pinotti, I agree. I'm using with my Onyx. Oh my God, are you watching our live on your Onyx? No freaking way you're doing that. You are not watching our live stream. Simon says live stream didn't show up coming earlier today. I don't know. I don't do yeah, I don't know why they didn't schedule it. I just come in and I go to OBS and I see the what do you call it? The list of yeah, it's called scheduled. I click on the list of scheduled upcoming streams, and I click the one that applies to us, which today was the Moan AIR. So I'm sorry, it didn't, maybe notifications were turned off or something. I don't know. But here we go. Anyways, let's move on. We have the ability to change the volume. Unfortunately, this has only Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or OTG support for USB-C connected audio devices, so it doesn't have a headphone jack. So if you think you can plug 3.5 into this, think again. And using a Bluetooth keyboard to comment. Oh my God, Nicholas, you're more hardcore than we are. That is insane. Okay, well, congrats. Nicholas Pinotti is watching this live stream on an e-reader of an e-reader. That's next level. I would agree. Oh, I would argue they left it out to have some more premium features on more expensive devices, like Apple cutting down on non-pro. You are correct. Yep, it's a good way to differentiate their experience from the higher priced ones. Correct. But if we look at it, this is the same price as the Poke and the M6. They all got speed modes for days. Why would you not have it on the Air? you're right. A lot of manufacturers do these little software tweaks to differentiate it from other things in their lineup. But there isn't anything competing with this because this isn't a 10-inch W8. This isn't a 10.3 Note. It's a 6-inch e-reader. But you put Android and allow us to install apps and watch videos, but you don't give us the tools to do so. It was a weird choice. And I'm not sure I agree with the choice of leaving out a very inherently important speed mode. It's so easy. We've seen speed mode since the Bokeen Diva back in 2010 with Inertia, and A2 is when we really saw things turn into having e-paper be able to watch motion media, so streams and videos and reels of people's vacation and stuff like that on social media, and to not have it is silly. We have refresh frequency, but that's just how many taps. So if I set it to 5, it'll be 1 2 3 4 5 5 1 2 3 4 5. Wait, 1 2 3 4. There it is. Okay, yeah, so it's triggers and hitboxes. It's not just taps. What else can we say about this unit? It's very bare bones, this unit, and that's kind of a good thing. It's a simplistic approach to something that was a little bit more complicated on other units, but it's it's much kind of more consumable. It's very clear cut what you need to do. Everything works. PDFs is another thing because, well, I'm looking around the room here. Well, if you look at this, my phone, you know what I mean? It's small. Guys, this is small. PDF. Why we always cover PDFs? You can't win with people. We cover PDFs too much. We're like, who cares? We don't cover PDFs. We're like, we need PDFs, so we do the best we can. PDFs are critical, and why that is because there are entire multi-million-dollar conglomerate devices like Sony's and Fujitsu's that only have PDF support. No other format. Period. Just PDF. PDF is a very useful format. When you get files, when you get things you have to sign. Oh, hey, Mom, what's up? When you get content on the internet, PDFs are a standard in media consumption. Magazines, newspapers, comics, all PDF. So PDFs are very important. We have to touch on it. This does have a pretty good pinch and zoom for HD mode, honestly. For one mode. It's not bad. And I actually never tried if you can long press. You can. Okay, so you can long press. Again, this is running Chinese, but if you wanted to run something else, you can. You can download Adobe Acrobat or, any PDF reader you want. This is just the one that they have based on there. But yeah, it's a terrible experience. It's terrible. It's too small. You can't read anything of value. If I tap here, get the elements back and go to, what do you call? A manga. If I go to a manga here and I go like this, turn a couple pages. Okay, so I can tap here and I can do things like crop. And I can fix what the terrible downloaded file looked like. So I can go like that. Oh yeah, move that over there. It's like, are you done? Move that over there. Say yes. Now it's looking a little better, and I cleaned it up a little bit. So it's all going to come down to the app you're using, and you can see the cropping is terrible on this particular app. So I would download something like, Adobe Acrobat. It's just a lot kind of better. It's just a lot more refined of an experience. But that is basically what we're dealing with. Now, we said earlier that a lot of manufacturers are getting away from 6 inches. Now, there's been a shift in the industry in the past 3 years, I would say. Ever since e-notes emerged, everyone's getting on board. Kobo got on board. Amazon got on board. Huawei got on board. Xiaomi got on board. Lenovo got on board. Major manufacturers, household appliances like not Hisense. Well, Hisense is a household appliance, but they don't do e-notes. They did the RLCD one. Hold on. Okay, pull it from your mind, Peter. Can't get it. W8? No, that's Xiaomi. TH. Oh, what is it called, guys? The silver RLCD. The R5. Oh man, almost had it. I'm gonna look it up because it's driving me nuts. Hisense did the RLCD. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts when I find it. I'm gonna be like, I knew it. what is it called? The Q5. Damn it, I said R5. Okay. Wow, that got a lot of views on YouTube. The Q5. So they did large screen devices. A lot of manufacturers are making e-paper devices, like Huawei, who's made phones, Lenovo, who made PCs, Amazon, who makes small bargain cheap e-readers. Is it TechLast? No, it's not, Nicholas, but thanks. It's Hisense Q5. In the past couple of years, manufacturers across the world have been going into e-notes. I never thought Kobo or Amazon would ever go into e-notes, ever, and they did. So what we've seen is manufacturers abandon what it all started with. The iRiver story, the Bokeen stuff, the Sony stuff, the Amazon stuff early on, the Barnes & Noble stuff, the Kobo stuff, everyone under the sun. 6 inches. Right now, Amazon has deviated 75% of their lineup away from 6 inches. Companies like Bigme, Remarkable, MobiScribe, KingJim, Sony, Fujitsu, they don't even make 6 inches. Bigme has the most devices of anyone in their lineup. They don't even have a 6 inch. They start at 7. Philips has entered the game. With a weird time to enter the game, especially with monitors. They don't have any 6 inches. No one is doing 6 inches anymore. You might say, oh, the Poke's a 6 inch and the MiBook is a 6 inch and the Hy-Vee 6 inch. Yeah, but there's only these one little cases of 6 inches popping up everywhere. And now there are more devices that aren't this size than are this size. So when e-readers started, basically, these were the ones. Everything was this size. All the way up to the Paperwhite 4. All the way up to the Nook, before the Nook Glow Light Plus became 7.8. Everyone did 6. Now, if you get the industry as a whole with e-notes and monitors and everything, this is not the first place pick for the screen size. It's not the standard anymore. It can be argued that the standard would be 7.8. Just given the sheer amount of availability. Might even be a toss-up between 7.8 and 10.3. Because 10.3s are everywhere. There are devices right there on our work tables that I've never even heard of, that have like these camel leather cases and stuff like that have Wacom. They don't even have a name. They're just called like the BOL is one of them that came in. I'm like, what is this? Who is it from? What does it do? 10.3s and 7.8s are everywhere. It's incomprehensible to tell you how many units there are with those screen sizes. And it's just because the screens are cheaper, they're more available than something like a 13, something like a 25, something like a 6.8. 7.8s and 10.3s have become the norm. So now we see 6 inches, like the Hi-Read SC Gaze, and you're just like, yeah, it's all right. And that's what you find, is that everyone wants a larger screen now. It's not really... It's kind of like with small smartphones. No one wants a small smartphone anymore. You can't consume all the stuff. People want big phones, really long screens, really wide screens, crazy like 21:9 aspect ratio screens. No one wants these anymore. And it's a truth. Everyone might be saying, oh, it's great to hold in your hand and it works and I still love my Kindle. You're right. I like 6 inches. But manufacturers don't look at it the same way because they're not seeing the same numbers with these as they are with their other things. I have multiple ink devices, and I treasure my Onyx Poke 3 and now my Kindle 2022 because I can slip it in my back pocket and carry it with me everywhere. You're right. I think, depending on your pants, you can put a 6.8 in your back pocket, like a MobiScribe or a KingJim. Once you get into 7-inch e-note kind of things, like the Pocket Note 7 or the Leaf, or even like a Forma 8-inch with a little bit of an extra meat bezel so you can hold it and do the physical page turns, starts to be a little bit unwieldy and you can't really fit it in most places. That's absolutely correct. Scott Oat Show, as he just commented. That's a very good observation. Yeah, we're seeing the popularity. I wish I could take notes on this because I like taking notes to show you guys. But we've basically seen device manufacturers either want something really big or really small. In fact, some of the biggest hot selling items, sorry that took so long, I'm trying to phrase it, that we saw, yeah, there you go, Scott. He says 6.8 won't fit in the back pocket. You're correct. Does this fit in my pocket? I'm going to put this in my pocket. It does. Fits right in my pocket. You're damn right, man. We've seen some of the most popular hot selling devices be anything outside of the six. So, for example, that we already said the 7.8s and 10.3s, but we're talking small. Surprisingly, when we look at our sales volume, companies like Xiaomi with the Ink Palm, which is like a one-handed little e-book reader. You can flip like that. You can go like that. The Kyocera phone, the little credit card phone, the Y-Ben P47L. Go look it up. The Y-Ben, all the Hisense stuff that's 4.7, 5.2. Those sell like crazy because they're handheld, they're purpose-built, they're easy to use. Then you get the bigger stuff. You get more screen real estate. You get an e-note. You get a Wacom layer. So there's that justification to both sides of everything around this, the small stuff and the big stuff. And then you get to this, and it just seems like there's nothing but complaints from everyone on 6 inches. You know, it's too small. It's not as fast. Oh, I can spend a couple bucks more and get a 7. And it just, you know, we're doing like market consensus with everyone that gives us feedback, which is why we even do YouTube. YouTube is a very small portion of Good Reader Inc. It's like 8 to 10% of what we do as a company. We're busy doing other news publication stuff, business acquisition stuff. So YouTube is a good platform for us to talk to you guys and get back, you know, market consensus and what people think. And we've seen that people have shifted away from 6 inches, both the consumers and the manufacturers. And a big reason for that is Amazon's rock bottom prices. You can get a Paperwhite 4 and like a basic 9, basic 10th gen on Wish, on Woot for like $19 refurb. How can you compete with that? It's like $140. The where is it? The InkPad iReader Neo, great device. It's like $200 for 6 inch. 6 inches had its day in the sun, and they're not garbage by any means, but you know, to scale, it's like $150 for this when I can buy a Kindle for $49. It's hard to compete in a world where the Kindle exists. So that's why manufacturers do other things to separate themselves, to differentiate themselves. That's why Philips is doing these big ass monitors. That's why Hisense doesn't even touch 6 inches. They have a couple things like 6.7 elongated phones like the A7CC, etc. That's why Bigme doesn't touch 6 inches. That's why all these e-note manufacturers, like we said, Supernote, Remarkable, all these guys, they don't touch 6 inches because it's hard to exist in a world where Amazon exists. Even Kobo, they've deviated away from that, with the Kobo Mini being really small and the Forma being really big, and even Barnes & Noble, which I never thought would deviate, has had 2 generations of Glowlight Pluses, which are 7.8. So they've even gone away. And like we said at the top of the hour, Amazon has deviated away from that too. The Oasis is 7, the Scribe is 10.2, the Paperwhite is 6.8. They don't even really prioritize the Kindle Basic anymore. It's just down here sitting here, oh, hey guys, you want to buy it? Oh, I guess so. It's a good Christmas gift. And that's what happens. That's kind of how it works, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just interesting. I mean, because you guys aren't asking any questions about the Xiaomi, so I'm just rambling. But yeah, it's interesting to see the shift of what we once saw as the golden standard of screen size is 6 inches, and it's just gone 180. It's completely pushed to the side. Again, we're being animated here and dramatic about it. 6 inches are very much in existence. It's just the scale of the popularity of the platform of the small screen size. It's not there anymore. And like we said, companies like Y-Ben, they're doing different things to actually make, you know, small micro e-readers. Xiaomi made 3 gens, the Ink Palm, the Ink Palm 5, and the Ink Palm Plus, all little tiny, you know, 5-inch units, very wieldy, consumable things. Scott Ocho says, I take the Poke 3 to church and read the Bible while I take notes on my Remarkable 2. There you go. Yeah, so you could read on the Remarkable, but it's not very good, and it doesn't have a glow light. And you can read on the Poke 3, but can't take notes. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's good. I also use it as legal pad. The Poke 3 not only lets me run my Bible app, but script and glows. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Here in Brazil, most people only know Kindle. You're correct, Nicholas. Most people in every country in the world, even Japan, which is the second biggest manufacturer of e-paper products, they have companies that some of you guys haven't even heard of, like Ricoh. They make printers. They have the biggest e-paper device you could buy. It's called the Ricoh Whiteboard. It's 42 inches and it's an e-note. They have the Guido, which is a dual screen 13.3. They have Progress Technologies, which is the manga reader. They have all the Sony stuff that's still in existence. They have smartwatches. They have Fujitsu. So there's Japan, next to China, is the #1 producer of e-paper enabled devices. They have bus bench ads on like train stations that are all e-paper. They have introductory signs when you walk into high-end clothing stores. It's color e-paper. That was one of the first ones we saw. It's all in Japan. And even here, you got to explain to some people. Like when I tell people my occupation, they're like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I do e-readers. They're like, e-readers? And I'm like, oh man, really? Like a Kindle. Oh, the Kindle. Yeah. And it's fine because everyone who's not in the industry wouldn't know to draw that parallel. But then you get someone like China and you say e-reader, they're like, oh yeah. Oh, there's something right here actually that, oh no, I can't show you guys that yet. That's right. I think that's NDA. Oh yeah. So it's a product that came in, but it's from China and it's like, you know what I mean? China has the most kind of wide variety of e-paper devices. Taiwan manufactures the e-paper devices because e-ink is a Taiwanese company, but Taiwan doesn't actually have many brands. They have the Readmoo Ink and High Read. Those are the only actual brands that come from the country of Taiwan. The rest come from the country of China, which is Xiaomi, which is iFlyTech and iReader and all that. And then of course all of them are made in China except for the Garmin stuff is made in Taiwan. Kobo products are 50% made in Taiwan. High Read is actually made in China. But yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, thanks Nicholas for drum. Hernandez in the house. Yes, he is. Rod Hernandez. Hello from Mexico. Hola, ¿cómo estás? It's been a while. No class tonight. Oh, cool. Cool. Very nice. Muchas gracias, por favor. ¿Dónde es muy grande burrito? That's like an actual question because I haven't had a big burrito in a while, man. Dying for burritos. I got a lot of taco shops around here, but you know, like the actual street tacos where they're like served on a plate and you pick them up. They're kind of soft corn, you know what I mean? Like some of them are blue too. But like a burrito, oh man, haven't had one in a while. I think that's it, everyone. I'm just rambling on because you guys are just kind of here and you're not asking any questions, but either way, no pressure. You know what else I like about this? Look at this. It's an optical illusion. Seriously, that looks textured. If I ever saw it before, I was like, oh, cool, but it's not. It's completely flat. Completely flat. But what they do is they kind of add that, you know, like when you're kids, you see the, depending on your age, I'm old, you know, you get those, I'm old, everyone, you know, you get those things and you tilt it and they do 2 or 3 different things. You know, you can't have too many because the shape of each peak and valley would hinder what you're looking at. So they give you 2 or 3 kind of frames and you tilt it and like the horse moves or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Simon, I agree, man. The back is like, this is, Xiaomi makes some good looking stuff. I just say that right now. The W8 is gorgeous. It's made with a completely piece of edge to edge piece of like emerald colored leather. The side is gorgeous green. The pen is brand new. I'm not even joking, guys. These are not cookie cutter. They look great. They really do. I'm stuttering. I'm kind of burnt out here from all the morning meetings and then talking for 28 minutes straight. So yeah, great looking stuff. I very much appreciate Xiaomi for sending us these samples. They got some good looking. They've always had good products, Xiaomi. They've never missed a beat. The Ink Palm stuff is arguably kind of like the most unique e-book reader devices that are mainstream in the modern era. They're completely unique. They're great. Oh, burritos are in the northern part of Mexico. Oh man, you know, I almost made it down to Mexico one day when we went to Cali. We're like, should we go to Mexico? So we just went to Disneyland. About the W8, you know if the back is real leather? I don't know. You know, I don't think there's too much pride in saying you have real leather. I don't know. I mean, if you're into that, to each their own, but I think fake leather is just as fine. You know, why does I mean, leather is kind of green, if you think about it. Not the color, I mean, ecologically friendly. Because, like, you're already killing the animal for the meat. And then you grind the bones to make, like, gelatin and jello and skincare products and get the cow's skin and make a chair for your Honda Accord? I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But Rod Hernandez says the problem with making a good-looking back panel is that it's covered up when you use a case. That is very true. Every time we see these units that have a great-looking panel, they're like, "Oh, put it in a case." You're like, "Okay, well, didn't matter if I bought the green or the blue or hot pink at the time of checkout because I can't see anything." And it's the same thing with phones. Hey guys, what color phone did I get? You'll never freaking know. I got the... You can't even see it. It's so like subtle. What did they call this one? Plum or something? It was really cool. It's purple. I like the purple Xperia phones, but you can't see it because, I'm vegan, so I actually wouldn't buy it if it's real. Well, there you go. There's reasons for everything. I'm just saying in general, it's better to utilize every part of the animal than to throw it away if it's happening, just objectively speaking. You know what I mean? Not against it, but this is just disappointing. Yeah, I hear you. Everyone, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening to me ramble and our kind of info into the industry. If you guys have any questions about anything, you can always hit us up. If you guys want to watch the VOD, you can watch it after this, of course. And we usually cap it at 30 minutes because, I don't know, just don't need to be talking for another however long. This is the Xiaomi Moan. Oh, and Xiaomi, by the way, last thing, makes 2 lines of devices. They may, and I'm not sure what the difference is because they share OS and they share a lot of pens and accessories and stuff. So I think it's just to... I actually don't know why they do that. It's not even really like... It's kind of like a fighter brand. If you have like... AT&T and have like a fighter brand, you go to the mall and there's like like Wicked Mobile, you know what I mean, and like you get Rogers in Canada and then you get Fido, and then you have like Uniqlo and then you get GU. There's always kind of these subsidiary companies. So you get Big Me does it. Big Me has it, and then Goyu, and then you get Xiaomi, which has the Mi line, so the Mi Reader, the Mi Note, the Redmi Note. And then you get the Moan W7, W8 Air. And they're the same company. They're both made by the exact same Xiaomi company. And they're on my screen right now. They're right there. Actually, they're messaging us, so we got to go. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Thanks it so much. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Rod Hernandez, Nicholas Pinotti, Simon Gordon, thank you for always stopping by. My mom from the island, Scott Oat Show, and we have Andrea Giongianni and Stephen Prossman lurking in the background. I haven't seen in a while. I haven't seen Courtney Bowman. And haven't seen Kevin Bossy out of Singapore for a while now. Oh, thanks, you guys. Yeah, you guys are fantastic, honestly. Thank you for listening to us ramble. If you have any questions, leave them down below. We got lots of stuff coming up. We got a thing that I might be able to show. I might be able to show over there. We have another unboxing e-paper thing that just came in. They told me not to open it. It's all wrapped up with a UPS label on it. They know what it is. I don't know what it is. Sometimes our guys bring it in. Sometimes we get blind things. So this is one where they brought it in. We got contests coming up. We got a lot of products coming up. And I believe we're wrapping up the Xiaomi stuff with the Note 10.3 that's coming up right after this. So thank you guys. See you next week. And yes, Rod Hernandez, adios, mi amigo. Until next weeko. I don't know how to say that. All right, bye-bye.